The Riotoro Ghostwriter Elite is one of the first mechanical keyboards developed and sold by Riotoro as a brand. The Ghostwriter Elite is available for a price of around $150 or euros, and for this you get a selection of 4 different Cherry MX switches, either black, brown, red or blue variants, plenty of RGB integration, and a volume wheel among other things such as a braided cable and USB pass-through. However, at this price point, there is plenty of competition from other more established brands, especially in the gaming keyboard segment of the market. Starting with the basics, the Ghostwriter Elite is well built, with the lower case of the keyboard made from plastic, while the top is made from aluminum. This increases the sturdiness of the casing, which houses the PCB and switches inside. There are also some other design elements made from the same aluminum, but more on that later on. Another feature of this keyboard is the detachable wrist rest, which has a system that should be present on any keyboard regardless of price. It does not have clips or mounting holes or an intricate mounting system. It uses just 2 magnets to stay attached to the keyboard body. This mechanism, or to be more precise, lack of one, not only increases the overall reliability of the wrist rest system, as there is literally nothing to break, but it also provides a secure yet flexible mount for your wrist rests. Before we move on with the review, I have to point out that in this video and review, I am using the version of this keyboard with the Cherry MX red switches, just to let you know. And since there are a lot of people that are interested in this particular feature, of using actual high quality mechanical switches, here is a sound sample to hear how this particular keyboard sounds with the Cherry MX red switches. The packaging is pretty nice. Soft, high-quality foam protects the keyboard on both sides and keeps it in the middle of the box, so the risk of damage is minimal. In terms of accessories, you really don't get that much. You have a user manual and a simple yet effective plastic keycap remover, and that's it. The design of this keyboard is quite modern, with straight lines and a red accent at the back. This is the ornament made from aluminum that I have been talking about at the beginning of the video. And to add more depth to this style piece, it is also illuminated in red to add a bit of contrast to the full RGB glorious LEDs that are found under each keycap. Still at the back of the keyboard, the cable is flexible but not as much as I would have liked it to be. This is mainly due to the thick braided sleeving, but it is strong and will not get damaged or develop kinks anytime soon. The connectors of the Ghostwriter Elite are 2 standard USB 2.0. One is for the data connection, while the other one is the pass-through for the single USB 2.0 port found at the back of the keyboard. One of the highlights of the Riotoro Ghostwriter Elite is the bidirectional volume roller, which by default will control the system volume of your computer. It has a good rotational motion with satisfying steps to give you some tactile feedback on how much you are altering the volume of your computer. This is a feature that should be on many keyboards, especially since a lot of newer headsets do not come with a way of adjusting the volume on them or on the cable, so this roller will help you out tremendously. The underside of the keyboard is pretty basic. You have no fancy patterns here or a channel to route your cable to the side. What you do have is a total of 5 rubber pads and 2 additional pads placed on the height adjustable feet. In addition, the magnetic detachable wrist rest has its own rubber pads to add more grip to the overall package. Speaking of the height adjustable feet, these offer a good height bump if you use them. Unfortunately, they also have only 2 positions, fully extended or completely retracted, so keep that in mind. Before we head into the software and how this keyboard performs, we have to look deeper and see what exactly are we getting for how much we pay. The main processing unit is a 32-bit ARM Cortex-M0 microcontroller with the model number LPC11U24F. This microcontroller features a 256 kilobytes of flash memory and 32 kilobytes of RAM. This chip also deals with that USB 2.0 pass-through at the back. The rest of the PCB is showing good soldering across the board, and the fact that all components of this keyboard are connected to the PCB using wires and connectors, so servicing this keyboard should be a smooth operation if you need it. The software developed by Riotoro is using a simple interface and layout, and thankfully requires no login or credential to be accessed, or even a constant internet connection to work properly. In fact, this software is so light that it barely takes up 11 megabytes of your space on your system, and it is barely noticeable in terms of RAM usage. The first page of this software deals with the rebinding of all keys on this keyboard and saving, editing and selecting the custom profiles you set up. The second page is the head of the macro system found on the Ghostwriter Elite. Here you can set up any key, macro or key combinations and save them. The third and last page on this software is the RGB/LED management for the keyboard. Here you can select the pattern for the RGB LEDs and their color, or create your own patterns from scratch. Using Aqua's test software, we are able to confirm that the Ghostwriter Elite has full NK rollover, so that's pretty nice, you know, having a keyboard that is actually offering true NK rollover and not some half-baked attempt at it. The Rgb LED integration is pretty good, with even color and light diffusion on each keycap. Speaking of the keycaps themselves, the symbols have a good quality engraving on the keycap, even though the plastic that is used to make the keys could have been thicker and of better quality. Nevertheless, the RGB is good on the Ghostwriter Elite, and it is fully adjustable, and you can save that profile on the onboard memory of the keyboard. The Riotoro Ghostwriter Elite is a good keyboard, using one of the best mechanical switches available on the market right now. Sure, the price is not exactly budget friendly, but we get what we pay for in terms of switches, features and the overall build quality, which is very good. One important aspect about this keyboard, which nowadays many people are not appreciating, is the lack of intrusive software and always connected systems. You can use the keyboard to its full potential without even installing the software, as all profiles and lighting presets are stored in the onboard memory of the keyboard. In addition, you can just install the software, set up everything as you like it, and then just don't use it ever again, as your custom profiles again are saved within the keyboard. If you like this review, then you can perhaps consider subscribing for more, and if you want to support me directly, then in the description below you find links to everything that I have been using for filming and recording these videos, and also my Patreon and subscriber star pages.